welcome to Martell's Movie Madness. This is your host, as always, Ryan Martell. And hold on, making sure we got everything set up here right. Um, on this week's episode, I'm just going to be basically running down what we got coming up for the year in Martell's Movie Madness land. Going to be talking about like different things I want to do with the show, different live events that are possibly going to be happening throughout the year. I want to talk about Bad Girls because I haven't talked about it here yet. I said I was going to talk about it, but I never did. Yeah, and that's about all I'm going to have on this episode. It's just going to be kind of a short one, a quick rundown for the upcoming year, let you guys know what the goals are for the show. Um, I'm going to be doing a little bit of updating to the Patreon. Of course, that is like super important. I think at this point, I need to, I don't know, make the goals bigger, better, make the goals better, so that I can eventually make the perks bigger. Um, I think I'm going to just narrow it down to the two tiers for now. The early access and then the bonus episode tier, because I realized that I really need to be creating all the content in order to uh, get patrons, I guess, in the other tiers. So I'm just going to lower it down to the two lower tiers, a $5 tier and a $10 tier. I know I had went down to a $3 tier on the well, I think I'll keep it $3 for the early access, and then the $10 tier will be for the bonus episodes, of course. Um, but yeah, so before I get started with my what you watchings and everything, and then get into the actual guts of the episode, I am going to plug some dates. Coming up January 18th, which is this coming Saturday. If you're listening on Sunday on Patreon, it's still this coming Saturday. If you're listening on Thursday too, you just got less time to prepare for it. Which, if you haven't been listening to the show and you don't know about the Flesher screening by now, then where have you been? Like, you're obviously not following me on social media or Martell's Movie Madness on social media, and you're not listening to the show. So, but yeah, we've got January 18th at VisArt Video. We're showing Flesher. This is a Martell's Movie Madness live event. Completely free. Screening starts at 7:30. Be there early. Donations are strongly encouraged for VisArt. And bring some extra money to buy stuff from the Flesher people, because they're going to have merch there too. This whole thing is just basically a way to get their movie in front of as many people as possible, and help them raise a little bit of money for their cause. January 21st at VisArt Video, we've got Skip Tracer, Cult Movies in the Cave. It's going to be insane, as always, with the Cult Movies in the Cave. Again, this one's also free with donations encouraged. January 29th, the VHS Potluck. I don't know if they have a theme yet or not. It's not. I don't have it in my notes. But that's January 29th. That one's also free as well. Come on out to one of those, all of those. Hopefully, you at least come to Flesher if you miss the Cult Movies in the Cave and the VHS Potluck. But ideally, you could get to go to all three, because they're going to be super fun events. Those are all the dates I have to plug. Before I get into the what you watching segment, I am going to go ahead and plug the social medias. It's at Martell's Movie Madness on Facebook and Instagram, at Movie Madness 69 on Twitter, and on patreon.com/Martell's Movie Madness. Go ahead and give us a follow, pledge, and donate money on Patreon. You can also follow me on social media at Trailer Trash God on Instagram, and at Martell the God on Twitter. And you can just find me on Facebook. It's Ryan Martell. So yeah, now getting into the what you watching, we've got the pick of the week this week, which is Bamboozled. I rewatched it last Sunday, or no, last Tuesday, or this Tuesday. So this past Tuesday, so last Tuesday, yeah. Um, I rewatched it as a part of a quadruple feature with the rest of my Vizart video rentals for that week. Um, Spike Lee movie, very heavy social commentary, good dark comedy, a satire. I mean, it's great. It's got a stacked cast. Michael Rappaport, Jada Pinkett Smith, Damon Wayans. It's a great movie. One of Spike Lee's best, probably up there with in my top three. Probably it's probably Do the Right Thing, um, Bamboozled, and Summer of Sam. Those are probably my top three Spike Lee movies. So go check that one out if you haven't seen it. If you have, then it might be time to revisit it. Maybe it's been a while. It's definitely available at Vizart Video. I don't think it is streaming anywhere. But yeah, it's worth checking out. I gave it a 5 out of 5 on the Martell scale, so that's how worth checking out it is. It's super good. Okay, so next up, I'm going to go ahead and do my one Prime selection that I had this week. Darlin. I did not know that this was a sequel, or technically the third sequel to a movie, or I don't know. It said it was really unclear on the Wikipedia when I was looking up the information after watching it. I think it is a sequel to a movie called The Woman, which is a sequel to a movie called The Offspring, or just Offspring. But I don't think that you have to watch either of the previous movies to understand this one, because I definitely didn't see either of those two movies, but I did understand and enjoy this one quite a bit. Um, this one's about a feral teenager who is brought in to this hospital, and uh, they immediately send her to this like um, Catholic uh, girls' school, like orphanage thing. Um, Super weird. Um, it's got a molesty priest, and uh, it's got a lot of crazy stuff going on. But you should check that one out. It's definitely more than on this what's on the surface of it when you see like a trailer or whatever. Um, I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not gonna get too in depth with it. But it's definitely a great watch. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on the Martell scale. I'm definitely going to go be seeking out The Woman and Offspring now to try to complete that trilogy. Um, but yeah, like I said, it's available now on Prime. I think it just came out this year, so it may have made my top 10 of the year if it would have been out, if I would have seen it earlier. Um, Definitely genre, but not necessarily horror. Although you could argue that it does have horrific elements. Okay, so next up, I'm going to do my Vizart video, which is the only other category that I have for this week. Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, I gave it a 4 out of 5 on the Martell scale. This is a Russ Myers movie written by Roger Ebert. Yeah. I think it's that Roger Ebert, the critic, which is weird to me. And then again, I could be wrong all around. But this movie is pretty crazy and off the wall. It's definitely supposed to be like a commentary on the excess of Hollywood at the time. Um, Takes place in the late 60s, right around the uh, or early 70s, I guess, right around the Manson murders uh, time period, probably. I know it definitely came out around that time. It is definitely a crazy movie. It's got a lot of different storylines going on at once. There are a lot of tits in this movie, but it's Russ Meyer, so what do you expect? But yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5. It's I don't know if you could consider it a horror movie, but it does have horror elements. I think it's definitely more of a drama or a thriller than it is a horror movie. But yeah, you definitely should check out Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. Next up is Battle Royale 2. I really like the original Battle Royale. This one was pretty good. It was just in a different. It was a very different movie from the original. Um, this one gives you more. Uh, it gives you more story, not necessarily the same attachment though as the first one. Of course, in the first battle royale, the thing is a group of students on this island who are supposed to kill each other. Um, it's like a game. The last one winning, the last one standing is the winner. Um, yeah, they've got like till sunrise to kill everybody else, and it's pretty insane. But it also gives you a lot of good characters and relationship stuff in there. Battle Royale 2 is good too. They changed up the game a little bit. They changed up the uh, rules, but it's basically similar premise. I give it a 3 out of 5 on the Martell scale. Go ahead and check that one out too. Um, but watch Battle Royale first. The original, the first, uh, the first movie in the franchise is definitely a better film in my opinion. Next up is Citizen Kane, a classic, a movie that I had heard um, since I've been watching movies pretty heavily. Is like the most perfect movie ever made, or like considered one of the greatest of all time. And I can see why. It's definitely very groundbreaking for its time, with what it was doing cinematically, what it was doing story wise. It was definitely more deep and more experimental with shots than most other movies were at the time. Um, I'm giving Citizen Kane a 4 out of 5. Um, I just found myself being bored with it at times. Like I might maybe wanted to like fast forward a little bit, but other than that, other than it being a little too long and it dragging a little bit, then um, it was pretty good. It was a really good movie. So go ahead and check that one out. Last, and actually least this week is Cheeky, a erotic sex comedy from Italy. Not so good. Uh, Not bad. It's not terrible. It's not the most awful thing I've ever seen in my life. The storyline was kind of weird. There's lots of porn logic in this movie, which is because it is basically no, basically there it is a softcore porn movie, and pretty much I wanted to give it a 1.5 or a 1 out of 5 because I didn't enjoy watching the movie, but it did have a lot of good cinematography and a lot of good nudity. I enjoyed the fact that it was not just exploitative of the female body, but there were plenty of penises and male asses in it as well. There were more female bodies, but there were definitely some penises in there as well. Um, so yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5 on the Martell scale. Like I said, the movie's not great. Um, there's a lot of rapey and like sexual assaulty kind of situations that just are weird to me. Um, the whole thing is like that her boyfriend's like mad because he's afraid that she's cheating on him, and she kind of does, but like at the same time, there's a lot of things that are done to her that I don't really necessarily see as consensual, so I don't really consider those cheating. But Jesus Christ, I don't know. And I thought this was an older movie, but it was not. It was like from 2000, allegedly. Like that's what it says on Wikipedia when you Google it. I had only seen the cover art before, and I knew that I was like, oh, I need to see this because I've seen the cover art before, and I want to check it out and see what it's about. And it's a different. This is like the first one, the first erotic movie that I've watched that I feel like wasn't played for camp. Well, it was because it was tongue in cheek in the way that all the sexual situations arised, but it was still a little weird and creepy. Um, that being said, like it is just this beautiful girl who is like super sexual, and um, I guess what I'm saying is if the subject matter would have been a little bit different, if they would have been a little more um, consent after transgression kind of thing with what the sexual assaulty kind of moments were going for, I guess, then it could have been a better movie. I don't know. I just did not enjoy it as much as I was wanting to. But yeah, it did have lots of nice tits and ass in it, and bush and big old hard dicks. So yeah, there you go. That's what saved that from being a 1 or a 1.5 on the scale. Definitely not a perfectly alright movie, but definitely not an awful movie. So yeah, that's my what you watching this week. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into the actual meat of the episode here. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing the 2020 kind of preview here. Um, Hopefully next month I will have my guest episodes will be back, and I will be able to have guests on at least twice, like I'm normally doing a month. And I want to try to start experimenting with different formatted solo episodes. I'm actually going to do a watch along on Patreon with Wolf Cop this month, and actually this week. It will drop on the same day as this one on Patreon. So tonight, Sunday the 12th, I think, or is it 11th? Hold on. Sunday, January 12th, the Wolf Cop watch along will be dropped directly after this one. So go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon for that. That'll be on the $10 tier. If it goes well and I like the way it felt doing it, then I'll do more movie watch alongs, live commentaries, if you will. I kind of want to get some guests on the non-interview episodes. Maybe repeat guests, people that I've had on before that I kind of want to expand on a singular topic with, rather than an interview format. Like I said, I don't know if I said this on the public part of the Christmas episode, but I do want to try to get some younger people on the show, like Gen Z people, and I would like to try to get some more women, more people of color. Of course, I have to get what I can get, and it just seems to be that that's who's reaching out to me are millennial males or older. But I'm going to try to get some more diversity on the show. I think that's very important. What else do I have planned for 2020? Oh, yeah, I'm Gonna be doing a lot of stuff at VisArt, of course. I don't know if I've officially announced it yet, but we are doing a monthly Martell's Movie Madness show at VisArt Video. I'm not sure what the format is going to be for the monthly shows yet, but we will also be doing random special screenings, like the Flesher screening is a special screening. Hopefully, we're going to have Bad Girls, which will probably not just be a one off thing, it'll probably be a week long run of Bad Girls when it comes out. Um, we'll definitely be doing one of those at the Sylvia Theater as well. I think Chris wants to do a bunch of different spread out showings. Uh, I don't know whether he wants to premiere it in Columbia or what. I'm assuming he wants to premiere it in Columbia. I'm just hoping that we can get people to come and watch them wherever we screen them. What else have we got? I'm gonna try. Um, I'm unfortunately gonna have to skip Mad Monster Party. I was really wanting to go because they've got the Screamcast. They've got Nev Campbell, Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy, and Roger Jackson. They just announced. I really wanted to go because of that. Um, they just recently announced Carl Weathers, and I was like, oh man, really? Like, Jesus Christ. But I'm not going to have enough time to try to save up money because of um, expenses with my car. I've had to have a lot of work done on my car. I still owe about $300 on the car, on like the repairs for the car. Um, I need new clothes and stuff. I can't really be spending or saving money for a convention to throw away at. Which I mean, it's not throwing it away because I really want to meet these people, but I just don't see it realistically happening because the show's in February. It's Valentine's Day weekend, and it's already like only a month away. Um, but I do have a fundraiser going on right now on my Facebook. So if you want to go give some money for that, it's for my birthday, which is January 24th. If you want to donate money to that for my birthday, that'll just be basically helping me pay. It's got a little bit of room there for some leeway, but that's mostly for helping me pay off the car repairs. You can also donate directly to me on Cash App. That's money sign Trailer Trash God. So it's the Cash App. My Cash App tag is Trailer Trash God, but with the money sign in front of it. Um, so yeah, every little bit helps when it comes to donating to the show or to me personally. Um, Joining the Patreon. It doesn't matter if you just join for $3. Um, yeah. I won't be doing Mad Monster Party, unfortunately. I really want to meet the Screamcast. Hopefully, Days of the Dead comes back to Charlotte. If they do, I will definitely be trying to go to that. I might skip all the conventions this year and just go to a film festival, or I at least want to try to do the Charlotte Film Festival this year. Because they had a lot of really good movies last year, or this past year, this year. Well, okay, 2019 they had a lot of good movies. I'm assuming they're going to have a lot of good movies for 2020. Um, they had Bliss, they had Parasite, they had, what else did they have? Bliss, Parasite. They had Tammy and the T Rex. Of course, they had their share of local movies, but yeah, I mean that's the Charlotte Film Society's thing. Jay is an excellent programmer. He also does their backlot film or back alley films film club or whatever. I don't know. Um, but most of those screenings that I plug at VisArt are programmed by him. The Greener, he had Greener Grass, Knives and Skin, a lot of these indie movies that are big a big deal right now are movies that I've seen or had the opportunity to see at VisArt. So yeah, I'm hoping to at least hit up one film festival. If I don't do a convention, I want to do a convention, but honestly, I don't know if they're doing another Days of the Dead in Charlotte. They didn't announce anything. I'm definitely gonna miss Mad Monster Party more than likely because of financial reasons, unfortunately. And I'd like to try to, there's got to be something later in the year where I can go and watch some good movies, maybe even meet a couple of celebs. I might actually even travel out of town for a convention if I can. If it's possible. Probably won't be, but you know how that goes. You got to make some money to spend some money, but you got to spend some money to make some money, so it's all fucked up. But yeah, that's what's on the horizon. I definitely just want to see more new movies as I'm doing this. I need to do more YouTube content, but I just don't have the time. Haven't had the time. And the way they do monetization now is just super hard to even get monetization, let alone make any money. If you're creating content like I create, which is not like spectacular, and it's not what people are like, what's popular on YouTube. But yeah, I think that's all I've got here for this episode. Oh yeah, I do want to talk about Bad Girls real quick. So I'm going to post a few pictures on the Patreon of me on the set of Bad Girls, behind the scenes stuff. I am also going to be putting that Wolf Cop watch along up on Patreon too. But now I'm going to talk about Bad Girls for a sec. I did film my scenes for Bad Girls 2 weeks ago now, I think. December 29th or 28th, that weekend. I'm only in the movie for 2 scenes. I've got like 8 lines total, I think. But I definitely think that my presence is going to be a big thing. I've got a little bit of screen time there. It's definitely going to be a fun character for you guys to see on screen. I don't want to spoil anything, but let me just say you're gonna have a lot of fun watching me in Bad Girls when it comes out. Chris is an amazing director, I feel like, and he is a great writer also. Having read this script and the Sister Vengeance script that he wrote for the project, it was Sister Vengeance was actually the movie that I was originally cast in, but for financial reasons, and because of the lead actress backing out at the last moment, that movie was shelved, and we are now he's now balls deep in the shooting of Bad Girls, which is, I think, wrapping up soon. He said that there's a possibility that there might be one more added Bill scene, which is my character. I played Bill. I'm super stoked for it. I'm glad he likes the character and my portrayal of the character so much that he wants to add another scene with that character. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that, hopefully. Keeping my fingers crossed because I need more screen time. But yeah, if you need a guy for your movie, then you should hit me up. Because I definitely would like to start doing more acting. I specialize in over-the-top B-movie acting, so let me know if you need me. Yep, that's all I got now for this week. Thank y'all for listening. Go ahead and join us on Patreon for that Wolf Cop watch-along. And now, I guess we're going to watch some fucking movies.
Well, it looks like you survived this time. Come back next week. See if you can do it again. There'll be more thrills and shit. ha ha ha!